Proverbs 25:20 says, "As he that taketh away a garment in cold weather, and as vinegar upon nitre, so is he that singeth songs to an heavy heart." It's been a strange thing that I've seen a number of times through the years that this proverb is describing when it says, "He that singeth songs to a heavy heart." I saw it when I was in grade school. I saw it when I was in high school. I've seen it with young adults and older adults. I've seen it with unsaved people and with Christians. You just have those people who lack basic common sense, it seems. And when they see someone who is unhappy or aggravated or hurting or even crying, they start trying to make that person turn off their very real emotions and just smile, just laugh and be happy. And it's awkward, and it's just uncalled for. As he that taketh away a garment in cold weather, and as vinegar upon nitre. Again, the Proverbs provide amazingly accurate word pictures to illustrate the truth being discussed. And when some goofball starts in with some song and dance, trying to get a grieving or hurting person to just smile, 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 they're the equivalent of someone walking up to a person in sub-zero temperatures and just ripping their coat off of them. You don't need that. Just be warm. If you don't think you're cold, you won't be cold. And strangely enough, these clownish people who try to make grieving, hurting people deny their emotions and just act like they aren't grieving or hurting, they would never actually take a coat from someone stuck outside in freezing cold weather. They'd even scoff at the suggestion that they would do so. And yet, they don't grasp how ridiculous their behavior is toward grieving or hurting people. And it's mind-boggling, but it's not all that rare. And if you tried to mix vinegar in nitre, or what is technically called sodium carbonate, you'll see that they don't mix, and the result is a foamy mess. So is he that singeth songs to an heavy heart. The funny thing is that what I remember seeing when some happy, clappy boob tries to stop the grieving person and make them laugh and smile on cue, like that is, someone is always there then, thankfully, to say, "You're not helping things." Ecclesiastes 3:4 reminds us that there is a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. And while some people are just clueless and short on common sense, others are just self-centered, and they have trouble being sympathetic and consoling others because it's really just all about them. But if you do want to be helpful, just be there. Don't try to say something profound. Pray with them if the hurting person says they'd appreciate prayer. If not, just pray silently to the Lord in your heart. But most of all, be there. And don't try to stop the grieving. Grief is human. It is normal. It's not a bad thing. When Lazarus died, Jesus wept, according to John 11:35, even though he knew he was about to raise Lazarus from the dead. But in his humanity and again in his deity, God is grieved. Grief is normal. And as we put aside our own self-interest and mourn with the hurting or grieving person, it also causes us to take inventory. According to Ecclesiastes 7:2, it says, "It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart." We should appreciate God's goodness and the good times and the good health that we enjoy, and we should also endure loss and hurt and disappointment with the knowledge that this world is temporary. And one day, all of our hurting and grieving will end. I love the words of Psalm 17:15. "As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness." And that's how we should approach life, knowing that day's coming.